Bitcoin pumped round about 5.3% and we have reached our price target of 18,000 US dollars, which I told you would be our most likely price target if we're going to break out from this formation and if we're going to get a lower inflation data. And we have got 7.1, which is even lower than the forecast. So guys, today is going to be a very important day for Bitcoin because yes, we are going to get the FOMC results and the FOMC meeting of Fed Jerome Powell, and we're going to find out what is going to be the interest rate hikes. Are we going to see a 25 basis point rate hike, which would be very bullish for Bitcoin? But if we're going to get a 50 basis point rate hike, which could be neutral and also lead to a sell the news event. But guys, if we're going to get 75 basis points, we're going to see a very bearish price target. So we're going to find out what is expected from the FOMC meeting. But guys, we're also going to look at the arrest of Sam Bankman-Fried, and we're actually going to look at the video of his arrest. So guys, if you want to find out more, watch the video until the end. And guys, please support my channel by smashing up the like button and subscribing and activate the bell so that you always get notified when I upload a new video. So guys, let's directly go over to the charts. And as you can see on the daily chart, we had this major pump towards the upside of 5.3%. But guys, we're going to look at the price target if this FOMC meeting turns out bullish and if we're going to get a 25 basis point or even a 50 basis point rate hike, because guys, this could lead to a mega bullish run for Bitcoin, and this would mean that we're going to see a relief rally over Christmas and we could reach a price target of around about 18,800 US dollars, where we have this major resistance box. But guys, let's go on the 4-hour chart to find out what is going to happen to Bitcoin in the immediate short term. And as you guys can see that we were consolidating in between this range and this upward sloping trend line. And we saw this breakout exactly here at the levels of 17,200 US dollars. And that was prior to the CPI release. And then we got this positive CPI reading. And at the moment we are consolidating at the levels of 17,800 US dollars. So guys, we really have to stay focused. What is going to happen from the FOMC meeting? Are we going to get a good result? Then I could aim that we're going to reach this resistance box round about the levels of 18,700 US dollars. But if we're going to get a bearish price target and a 75 basis point rate hike, we're going to see that Bitcoin will dump even lower and maybe retest this upward sloping trend line or even break it towards the downside. And my price target, if we're going to break this trend line, would be all the way down at the levels of 16,000 US dollars. But guys, we're going to go on the lower time frames on the 15-minute chart to find out what is going to happen in the immediate short term and what are we seeing in the markets right now. So on the 15-minute chart, we can see here was the 18,000 US dollar level, and then we saw this retracement all the way down to the levels of 17,600 US dollars. But at the moment, you can see that the price of Bitcoin is consolidating in somewhat kind of a wedge. But at the moment, the price movement of Bitcoin looks quite good because guys, we could see that after we have reached this high, we have formed this low, and afterwards we can see that Bitcoin is forming higher lows. But guys, now we're going to draw a resistance box round about the levels where we can see Bitcoin faces some resistance at the moment, and that is round about the levels of 17,800 US dollars. As you guys can see that this level was prior support and now it turned into resistance. Here we can see that the price of Bitcoin bounced off once and then we broke this level towards the downside and then it turned into resistance. And all the way at these points we can see that this level is kind of a resistance level, and we tried to break out at these levels of round about 17,800 US dollars, but we got a rejection round about here, and at the moment we are underneath the 13 EMA on the 15-minute chart for Bitcoin. But guys, I could expect a major volatility prior to the FOMC meeting and during the FOMC meeting, so we could see something like a major dump and then a breakout towards the upside, and then the price of Bitcoin will consolidate, or we are going to see a pump towards the upside or this major breakdown towards the downside. But guys, we're first going to look at the CPI release from yesterday, and as you guys can see, we got a 7.1, which is even lower than the forecast. We had the previous CPI reading of 7.7. But guys, we're going to find out what is going to be the overall stance from the FOMC meeting from Fed Jerome Powell, which is going to happen in round about 7 hours, and we're going to see a major volatility. What to expect from the financial FOMC meeting of 2022. The Financial Federal Reserve Monetary Policy meeting of the year is this week, concluding after a 2-day meeting on Wednesday the 14th. A press conference will follow shortly after with Fed Jerome Powell, where it's hoped he will provide a positive insight into the outlook outlook of the American monetary policy for the next year. 50 basis point hike likely. Economists have widely predicted that inflation has well passed its peak in the United States. Chair Jerome Powell commented in a speech late November that the FOMC had made substantial progress in tightening policy and that the meeting in December may be the first opportunity to slow the size of the rates. So guys, we're going to see what Fed Jerome Powell has to say if we're going to go on with this hawkish behavior and if we're going to see a 75 basis point rate hike or even a 50 basis point rate hike, because that is what is expected in the broader markets at the moment, that we're going to get a 50 basis point rate hike. But what is going to happen if we're actually going to see that the Federal Reserve is starting to pivot? We're going to get a very low interest rate hike of 25 basis point. We could expect that the markets will pump even higher and that we're getting a relief rally. But guys, let's go over to a very important factor, the arrest of Sam Bankman-Fried. And yes guys, finally he's behind bars and he deserves it. I want to tell you something before we're going to read this article. 2 days ago, I've watched this Twitter interview with Sam Bankman-Fried and he got asked a simple question which he should have answered with yes or no. And the question was, are you playing video games at the moment? And he answered with, yes. How disrespectful, man. And guys, that's why I think he deserves it to be behind bars, because he felt quite safe in the Bahamas. But guys, we're going to read through this article, and if you like this video so far, smash up the like button and subscribe, and afterwards we're going to look at this video of his actual arrest. So guys, Sam Bankman-Fried arrested in the Bahamas, said to be extradited to the US. The Royal Bahamian Police Force arrested Sam Bankman-Fried after receiving an official notification from the United States government, as it has filed criminal charges against him. Yes, so Sam Bankman-Fried has been arrested by authorities in the Bahamas at the request of the United States government. The arrest came 1 day ahead of Sam Bankman-Fried's scheduled appearance before US lawmakers on Tuesday, where he was planning to give a testimonial via a video link. And again, disrespectful. The Royal Bahamian Police Force arrested Sam Bankman-Fried after receiving official notification from the United States government, as it has filed criminal charges against him. Bahamian Prime Minister Philip Davis stated that both countries have a shared interest in holding accountable in all individuals associated with FTX who may have betrayed the public trust and broken the law. The US SDNY has filed an indictment against SBF and plans to unseal it in the morning, and further details will be disclosed later on. But guys, we're going to look at this indictment and we're going to go over to Twitter, where we can see that Bitcoin Magazine had posted, breaking, Sam Bankman-Fried is facing 8 charges which could total up to 165 years in prison, unsealed indictment shows. So guys, now we're going to go over and we're going to look at the actual arrest of Sam Bankman-Fried. Yes, finally this fraudster is behind bars, Scam Bankman-Fried. So guys, we're going to find out what is going to happen from the FOMC meeting today. Are we going to see this major pump and this major relief rally for Bitcoin? Because I think it's about time that the Federal Reserve will start to pivot, and if we're going to get a lower basis point rate hike of 25 or even 50 basis point, which is expected from the broader market, we could expect a bullish move for Bitcoin. But if we're going to get a 75 basis point rate hike, we're going to see a bearish dump towards the downside. But let's go back over to the 50-minute chart to find out what is Bitcoin doing at the moment. And as you guys can see, that we are still hovering around this resistance box that we have around about the $17,800 level. So guys, today we could see a very volatile breakout towards the upside, and then a dump towards the downside, and then another breakout towards the upside. So guys, we could expect a major volatility which is going to occur in round about 7 hours. So guys, if you want to trade all these moves, go down in the video description below and sign up with my BitGet link, where you receive a major deposit bonus of up to $4,000 signing up to my link. And you can buy crypto on the spot market and trade it on the leverage market. And guys, if you always want to stay up to date, go down in the video description below and sign up to my free Telegram group. And make sure to smash up the like button and subscribe and activate the bell so that you get notified when I upload a new video. And guys, make sure to be for crypto, and we see each other in the next video.